I'm telling you, this is the best tomato soup ever, and definitely the best roasted tomato soup that you will ever can. Hi, I'm Prepper Potpourri, and I would like to welcome you to Canuary 2025. And that means every day in January, you can watch a new canning recipe video. And I have a list in the pinned comment below this video of all the participating channels. And this collaboration, well, it's the brainchild of Lisa from Sutton's Day, and it's co-sponsored by Lisa from Sutton's Day and 4 Jars. Now, the recipe that I'm featuring is a variation of recipe in this, the all-new Ball Book of Canning, and it was actually published in 2016, but it is still available on Amazon. And again, I have the link below in the pinned comment. This is one of my favorite canning books because it has loads and loads of canning recipes, but then it also shows you how to use some of those canned goods in recipes. It's really invaluable in your canning kitchen. This is the recipe I'm doing a slight variation of. It is the roasted tomato soup, and it is so good. Now, I like mine with a bit of more pepper in it and a little cheap Parmesan cheese on top. Doesn't that look good? Now, this tastes just delicious the way it is, but I made some garlic bread too, and this is great for dipping your garlic bread. So good. So good. That's why you can also use this soup to dip your breadsticks in or as a base for your pasta sauce. It really is just delicious. But this is a pressure canning recipe. You must use a pressure canner, not a water bath canner or a steam canner. And if you don't have a pressure canner, well, maybe you'll be the lucky winner this year of a brand new pressure canner in the Canuary giveaway. And I'm sure you want to watch every single video, but as an added incentive, there is some wonderful giveaways. As long as you watch the video and post a comment, you'll be eligible. If that video and your comment is picked, you might win a 23-quart pressure canner or a steam canner being given away by Lisa at Sutton's Day. And 4 Jars is also giving away a pressure canner and a couple bundles of jar sealers and lids. So be sure to watch each video and comment so you're eligible for this fantastic giveaway. I mean, every year, Canuary just gets better and better. Well, August and September are just such busy months and such busy canning months. One day I had already canned 21 pints of this roasted tomato soup, and I had canned some other things, and believe me, my back was hurting. I was just tired, and I just wanted to call it quits. So what I did instead was to freeze my tomatoes, so then I could make them later. Now you just want to wash your tomatoes well. You don't want to get any dirt on them off. Okay, then you're going to core them. And get any like little imperfections off the skin. Then I always take that little bit off here. Okay. Then we're just going to cut them in half. You'll also notice that I do not skin my tomatoes. So much important nutrition is in the skin of a tomato that I don't want to lose it. So I don't skin them, but by using the immersion blender in this recipe, you don't even know the skins are there. I decided to roast my tomatoes before I froze them. Here we go. Our 2 trays are ready for the oven. And you want to spray just a little olive oil on it. And put on some salt and a little pepper. So here we go. We got both trays in our oven. It's been preheated to 375. Now we're going to leave it in there 90 minutes. Okay, when you take them out, your edges of your tomatoes might be slightly blackened. That's okay. It'll just add some extra layers of flavor to your tomato soup. So I let the tomatoes cool a bit and then I vacuumed them. And of course, I was using my beloved WeVac vacuum, which is a chamber vacuum. So I can immediately vacuum tomatoes that still are very, very juicy without having any sealer accidents. But if you don't have a chamber vacuum, but if you are interested, again, got information for 15% off in the comments below. But anyway, if you just have a regular vacuum sealer or just want to use a Ziploc bag, that's fine too. What I suggest is that you lay your tomatoes out on a tray and flash freeze them in your freezer before you actually pack them and vacuum. That way, you'll have a very good seal. Just be sure to label. I'm going to end up with 4 bags, so I'm saying roasted tomatoes for soup, it's 1 bag, and the date I'm putting it in the freezer. Okay, so now it's the dead of winter, and I've got the time. I can. And I also don't have to worry about my kitchen getting too hot. So come along with me as we make one of my favorite canning recipes. I call it the best ever roasted tomato soup. Remember I said I made slight changes to the ball recipe and I want to point those out. Now, the recipe calls for plum tomatoes, but I like the taste of regular tomatoes, so I don't use plum tomatoes. But again, up to you what you'd like to use. Ball used 3 teaspoons of salt where I used only 2 because the stock is pretty salty also. And you can always add salt later when you open a jar. And ground pepper stayed the same for olive oil, same for garlic cloves. Now they recommended a cup of dry white wine. I'm not much of a wine lover, nor do I know anything about wine. I just got this because it's cheap. I think it's only about 6 ounces. I think it's white because it's kind of clear, right? And it is called Moscato. So this is what I used in the recipe. But again, you're free to use whatever wine you want. Now, they only used 4 cups of chicken broth, and of course you can use vegetable broth too. I felt that was a little too thick, so I actually used 6 cups of chicken broth. And then they didn't include any sugar, but I did. I put in a tablespoon of sugar. And again, that depends on the acidity and the taste of your tomatoes. It's whatever you prefer. And the recipe called for fresh basil. Well, this time of the year, basil would be very, very expensive in the grocery store, especially a whole cup. So I just used 2 tablespoons of dried basil, and it turns out delicious. And again, you can always add more basil. And again, you can always add more basil when you open a jar and prepare it. So, slight differences. If you want to stick right to the recipe in the ball book, that's fine. I am sure that my little changes are okay from canning safety, but it is entirely up to you. So, let's get started. So let's get our frozen ingredients out and then prepare our other ingredients. You want to get all your ingredients together. So we've got our frozen tomatoes, and they're frozen solid. I also had froze up some onions when my garden was done. And that way we'll use the frozen onions too. Makes it a little easier and a no-tear solution right now. And we're going to have some basil, some garlic, our chicken broth, a tablespoon of olive oil, and our wonderful, very expensive wine. Let's get started. Now, you could let the tomatoes and the onions thaw on the counter shelf. But you know what? Once you put them in the pot, they're going to thaw out anyway. It'll just take a little longer cooking time. So that's what I'm going to do. Put in our tablespoon of olive oil. There we go. Here's one of the frozen onions and our other frozen onions. And like I said, this will take a little while to thaw. And then get in all of our garlic. We also need our 2 teaspoons salt. Now this is going to take a little bit because of course we have to thaw out all these onions. So I will be back. And I almost forgot to put in my 1 teaspoon pepper. Stir that in. Now, the ball instructions say to cover and then cook 8 to 10 minutes. I like to just leave it uncovered so some of the moisture gets absorbed. So we'll be back. So see how a lot of that onion juice has now been reabsorbed by the onions? Won't be long and we'll be adding the wine. Okay, we've got the onions nice and tender. And now we're going to add our wine. Now, we're just going to cook this maybe 8 minutes, maybe 10, just until our onions really absorb all the wine. The wine kind of disappears. See how it's thickening up? The wine is evaporating into the onions. Not quite done yet. By the way, did you ever notice in your right hand how much you really do use this finger? Yes. I had one of those disastrous mandolin accidents. I know better. I was just trying to get the potato down just a little and then put it in the little stand so you can easily go like that. Oh no, it bled. I mean, Christmas Eve, it was bleeding on and off all day. And yeah, I took a little bit of the tip of my finger off. So we've added, in my case, 6 cups, or maybe you're doing 4 cups chicken stock or vegetable stock. It's completely up to you. And again, if you got fresh basil, use it. I don't have a cup of fresh basil. So here's 1 tablespoon, and here's another tablespoon. There we go. Mix it in a bit. Now we're going to add our tomatoes. Put them in carefully there because that's pretty heavy. Our second one. There we go. Now I'm going to let these thaw out a bit before I add the other 2. I ended up putting it in my bigger stock pot because yeah, it wasn't all going to fit, I don't think. And to be safe, don't want to have it all over my cooktop. So we'll be back when the tomatoes thaw out. Now just cook for 20 minutes. Now at this stage you probably should let your soup cool a bit before you blend it. But I'm usually too much in a hurry, and so I just put my immersion blender right in it and start blending. You can also use a regular blender and do it in batches. So now we're just going to use our immersion blender. There's still steam coming up, but this went really, really quick. We're going to return our soup to the stove. We want to make sure it is really hot, heated all the way through before we put it in jars. Okay, it's plenty hot. Just going to scoop some up. Jar them up. And you can see there isn't any tomato peels or anything like that. And we want about 1 inch, so that's pretty good. And then I'll fill the rest of them. So we're just going to make sure we don't have any air bubbles in. Although with this kind of soup, I don't think so, but always be safe. And when I did that, I think this could use just a little bit more. Yeah. And maybe this one too. Okay. Now, I want to wipe the rims well. We don't want anything to prevent our seal. Now let's put on our lids. Now, you notice I'm using, can you see it says trellis lids? These are stainless steel lids. I just love them. They don't get all that brown, rusty look. These are wonderful. You know, one-time purchase, and you just keep reusing them. Finger tighten. Oh yeah, and I have a link below if you're interested in these. They're wonderful. And our last one. Okay, ready for the canner. Let's prepare our pressure canner. And you should always follow your pressure canner's instruction. In my case, it needs 2 inches of water. I always put in a little vinegar so I don't have cloudy jars. And I make sure my rim is oiled well. So, and because it's 8 jars, we have to add another. There we go. Add another layer. And we put in our top one. Okay. Okay, we're gonna be waiting. We wanna get steam coming out of here. Be back. Nice stream for 10 minutes. Now we're putting this on. I'm doing it 10-pound weight, but you need to check the elevation where you live to see what weight you need. And now we're just gonna wait until it starts doing its little jig. Be back. Okay, it's starting its jig. And we have pints in there, so we're gonna let it go for 50 minutes. But if you have quarts, it's 60 minutes. Okay, I turned off the burner, but now we gotta wait until that gets down to 0, and then we can take off the weight. So it's usually 25 minutes or so. And I'm gonna take the top off and then just wait 5 minutes before I take out everything. Is waiting that 5 minutes necessary? Probably not, but it's just what I do. Now, this is how I take it out. Use a fork, take that off. I'm not sure what way you're really supposed to do it. And then we can get to the next level. Well, it's good. I don't see any seepage. Here's all 8 of them. Oh, you hear that? They're popping. I think they're gonna be fine. Some of them are sealed already. Well, wasn't that lovely? I mean, this soup tastes so good. Please let me know if you've made it before or if you're going to make it. Comment down below. I am telling you, this is definitely my favorite and my family's favorite tomato soup. So I hope you make roasted tomato soup. You know, the best tomato soup ever. And be sure you're watching each one of those videos for Canuary each day and commenting so you'll be eligible for a fantastic prize. Happy Canuary.